Monday through Friday, the staff of the Daily pump out newspapers to keep students up to date with campus activities, events, and administrative decisions. We may take this work for granted, but what really goes into just one issue of the Daily?
The story can come from two different places. It can come from a writer, which we hope it does, or it comes to us either in the form of a press release or something. It's really a judgment call. We know what we've covered in the past, we know what we covered recently, we know what we want to cover in the future. And I don't know, you really get a sense of what a good story is, where a good storyline is. You can't really describe it, at least I can't. It's just what you think will be of interest to people.
A normal day would be coming in, having our reporters send in stories by early afternoon. I'll sit down, edit with them. Sometimes in the newsroom or on the phone, we'll get a story cleaned up and I'll send it to the copy editors in the newsroom. They'll look it over, they'll send it to Lexi, the editor-in-chief, and the story will circulate throughout the newsroom, but I'm in charge of making sure that it's in on time and there's an appropriate photo with it. I coordinate with the photo editors and the design editors to plan out the page. It's mine and Bill's job to figure out if the page is going to look like, how it's going to turn out. We make sure that stories are appropriately positioned, and we have to figure out if there's enough content for the day.
I don't think very many people know that, outside the Daily, that the stuff that we write, it doesn't just go from the writer to an editor like me and onto the page. It goes from me to an editor, to a copy editor, to my boss, to another copy editor, and then finally me again. We polish what we write, and it comes in raw, but in the end, it comes out really clean, I guess.
Deadline usually for the paper is 11 o'clock p.m. So we're supposed to have everything designed and into the printer by 11 p.m., which sometimes happens. Usually we're trying really hard. We've been good this week. It's going well. But once it's into the printer, then they have to print it and they set all of the presses.
Really, one of the hardest parts of the job and one of the most rewarding parts of the job is being news editor is helping the writers reach their potential, interview the right people, make the best possible piece they can. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most is really helping the writer and getting a great article next to their byline. But in terms of challenges, yeah, that's the hard one is anticipating something's going to come in and be ready and going to be a real great story, and then not having it pan out and having to compensate for that.
Communication here is probably the most important thing. I mean, we have to be good writers and we have to be good at writing headlines or good at taking pictures, but communication by far is like one of the most important things you need to have here, and it's something that you can really learn a lot about communication here and what the right things to say are and when and stuff like that, especially when it gets stressful and we're on deadline. Some people like to get a little mad, get a little angry, irritated, and if you say the wrong thing, you can kind of get in an argument, but you gotta learn to say the right things. If you have a problem, learn how to approach the problem. It's just a lot of good things here that you learn that you can take into the the real world, I guess, per se, and take it with you after college. So stuff you definitely don't learn in the classroom.
So next time you pick up your Daily, take a minute to think about the hardworking staff in the newsroom.